We're here to talk about the fentanyl crisis and my family story relative to that, which is a very difficult story, difficult journey involving my son, Jake, who died from accidental fentanyl overdose at the age of 26.
She was clean and sober for 14 months, and then she had a really bad night, and she took something that night that killed her.
Shannon had swung open my door and shouting like, "Michaela is dead, Michaela is dead."
When the police were here that morning, they found like a half of a blue pill in her bed next to her.
One pill can kill. It doesn't take two, it doesn't take three, it doesn't take a bar, it takes one. And sometimes it takes half of one.
That's some advice that all parents need to have. Don't assume that if you're doing things right, don't assume that that keeps you immune, because addiction could care less. And so have the conversation, have the hard conversation with your kids at an early age, not once, all the time.
We've been facing a silent killer. That silent killer is fentanyl. And as with Jake, Michaela, and Caitlin, and so many others, their lives have been taken too soon. In Virginia, we're focused on educating our young people and our parents, on giving our first responders the support they need, and also going after the dealers while supporting those in recovery. Thank you for joining up in this endeavor. This is our story.
Growing up with Michaela, it was simple. I knew I had a best friend for life built in right there.
They've just been best friends since day one. They lived basically between houses, coming and going. Michaela met her boyfriend when she was 15.
When she had first met him, she was super excited. His behavior when I had first met him was typical that you would see in like your average high school student. Once I had found out about the drugs, I didn't react the way I was supposed to. I wasn't like, "You should stop seeing him." I didn't say anything. I was like, "Oh, okay."
I didn't become suspectful of drugs. I never really thought anything of it, you know. She was honor roll student and everything seemed normal. At that time, I didn't know anything about fentanyl.
Shannon had allowed the boyfriend to come over. They were staying out in the living room, hanging out or whatnot, and he had passed her some drugs. I thought it was Percocet or Xanax.
January 21st, we're still in COVID. We were watching one of the Harry Potter movies, and we ordered sushi for dinner. That's what she wanted. She always wanted sushi. She kind of started dozing off during the movies pretty early, 7:30. I don't know, mother's intuition, just something wasn't sitting right with me. I woke up at 4:30 in the morning, and I don't know if it was just like my body or my mind or something. And at 9 o'clock, I went to wake her up that morning.
"Michaela is dead, Michaela is dead." I just kind of sat in my room crying.
Whatever she took, it was just pure fentanyl. She didn't have anything else in her system. Did that one pill kill her? Yes. Was she addicted to drugs? No. Was she on her way to being addicted? Potentially.
12 years ago, our 21-year-old daughter died of an overdose. She became addicted to painkillers after a soccer injury. Some kids hide it so well. You know, they say, look for when your grades dropped. Caitlin's grades didn't drop. Look for when they can't perform or do certain things. Caitlin was still playing soccer, still a part-time job. She was able to hide it for, probably 18 months or 2 years, and then it caught up with her, and that's kind of typical with addiction. Right now, you cannot experiment with drugs. You experiment with drugs and you could be dead. You have got to assume that your children in middle school have friends that have tried fentanyl, that have tried heroin, that are doing pills, that are doing all sorts of things in their vapes. You assume that it is around your child. Don't live in a bubble. We lived in a bubble.
He was popular and good-looking and friendly and incredibly hardworking, and he had lots and lots of friends. Somewhere around his sophomore year, he had a bump in the road, and I think maybe that and just an impulsive moment led him to say yes to some kids who offered him some pills. Jake did have a genetic predisposition to addiction. The moment that he tried that drug for the first time and that he liked it, it was relentless. And he fed his brain and body what it begged for because he was addicted. And I know because he told me that he wished he had never tried it to begin with. He struggled with that for 10 years before it took his life.
He's cold. I'm going to try the Narcan anyway. I don't know. Do you have Narcan?
It only takes a minute amount, equivalent to a grain of salt, to end a life. That's why we're working so hard to raise awareness. The It Only Takes One initiative not only targets influential adults in the lives of young people to spread awareness and education on the dangers of fentanyl, but it also targets some of our most at-risk youth. Fortunately, we can and are making a difference.
So educate your kids. And kids, talk to your parents. Talk to your friends, your teachers, your pastor, your school resource officers. Because fentanyl doesn't take one life at a time. It takes entire families. It strikes at the heart of our entire community. It's not hyperbole to say one pill can kill. It's a sad, tragic truth.
I see so many fentanyl deaths. The body can be an old person, a middle-aged person, more and more often it's a young person. And I look at the toxicology and it says fentanyl, 0.008. And I say that's enough to kill.
Fentanyl is an opioid. It's been used in medicine for quite some time. I use it in my practice too. Exceedingly potent, so people talk about it being 100 times more potent than morphine, for example.
You start to breathe more and more shallowly. And as the oxygen in your blood decreases and decreases and decreases, pretty soon the coronary arteries are carrying blood to your heart that doesn't have enough oxygen to keep your heart going. We call it respiratory depression leading to cardiac arrest. Oftentimes the person never even knows it's happening.
In 2023, the U.S. Drug Enforcement Administration estimated that for each confiscated pill, nearly 7 in 10 had a lethal dose of fentanyl. This right here is a packet of sugar. You see it every day on your table. But if this was fentanyl, enough fentanyl in this little sugar packet would kill an entire graduating class of teenagers. It should give you an idea of how deadly this really is.
And what's even more concerning now, what's emerging, are the counterfeit medications. The counterfeiters are making tablets containing fentanyl with the population not realizing that that's occurring.
The objective is mass production for profit. And because there's no quality control in these clandestine laboratories, it causes an increase in poisoning and overdose deaths in the United States because there's no way to control how much fentanyl is in each counterfeit pill. One pill could contain 1 milligram, one pill could contain 10 milligrams of fentanyl. And that's a driving force behind the increase of tragic deaths in the United States.
There's individuals out there that think it's safer to take a pill because of the pharmaceuticals quality control. And what they don't realize, again, the counterfeits look exactly like those pharmaceutical products.
They get the industrial grade pill presses, and so they can make the pills that look almost better than the actual pharmaceutical pills. They can make it look like it's an Xanax bar, they can make it look like an antidepressant, whatever.
We just had one actually in our hospital. They bought a Percocet, thought they knew the dose, and it had no oxycodone in it, no acetaminophen. It was purely fentanyl.
I remember getting 2 17-year-olds completely unrelated in the same week. Both of them were buying Percocets on the street, just to experiment. Both of them didn't know that those Percocets were made by drug dealers and they were selling fentanyl with no Percocet in them at all. I had a 13-year-old girl who was just experimenting. She had one of the highest fentanyl levels I've ever seen.
We don't live in a world of experimental drug use any longer. We know from our scientific testing with absolute certainty that fentanyl is contained in a wide variety of drugs that we seize. It's been found in cocaine, it's been found in methamphetamine, it's been found in heroin, it's been found in ecstasy, it's been found in marijuana.
I had several people in my family, close family members who have lost loved ones because they think they're getting weed, but the weed was laced with fentanyl. You know, good friend lost a kid because the same thing. You thinking it's a simple pill, but it's laced with fentanyl.
You know, if you're a user, it's really hard to get out of that lifestyle, right? But who's bringing that into the community? It's the dealers that are really bringing it in. They're facilitating this tragedy.
We've been working hard these past few years in Virginia to apply the maximum penalties for transporting, manufacturing, and dealing deadly drugs like fentanyl within our state.
We've been able to pass legislation and recently got a conviction on a distribution of a weapon of terrorism being fentanyl here in Smith County.
If you're a dealer, stop it. We will find you, we will bring you to justice, we will hold you accountable. You will not continue to bring death and destruction and devastation to any of our communities, any of our cities here in the Commonwealth of Virginia.
We're going to continue to coordinate with federal, state, and local authorities, as well as our Commonwealth's attorneys. If you're dealing, we will find you, and we're coming after you.
Virginia is no safe haven. We're aggressively going after drug dealers, particularly those who distribute that poison in our community. Whether it be the one time off when a high school student is handing a Percocet to someone, or whether it's a fentanyl dealer, it will not happen in the Commonwealth.
Led by Governor Youngkin and Attorney General Miyares, the General Assembly passed bipartisan legislation to ban pill presses, require mandatory school overdose reporting, hold drug dealers accountable with a new felony involuntary manslaughter charge for fatal overdose deaths, and define fentanyl as a weapon of terrorism.
An addiction is a compulsion to engage in a negative behavior despite knowledge, intellectual knowledge of the cost associated with that behavior. You can tell yourself, oh, this is terrible for me. I should not engage in this kind of behavior, and yet you are unable to stop without assistance.
Addiction is, we call it the disease of isolation. When somebody feels that despair of just utterly alone, no one understands, nobody would get this, and then you start feeling morally deficient.
A lot of people who are battling addiction think that, okay, I have to do this on my own, quit cold turkey, and no one else can know. The truth is, you should not, and you cannot do this without assistance.
About 25 years ago, some of the largest pharmaceutical companies on the planet came to Southwest Virginia and said, we have this amazing new pain pill for your work-related injuries, but don't you worry, it's called OxyContin. It's not addicting. And now we know that they knew. We sued them, we went after them, and we won. We've received some of the largest settlements in Virginia history, over $1.4 billion. We worked with the General Assembly to create the Opioid Abatement Fund, so that money is now going back to you and to our communities in the form of both recovery and law enforcement programs.
Unfortunately, teenagers have to choose between recovery and education. My passion is to make sure that students here in the Hampton Roads area can both get a good education and recovery at the same time. They're going to go to school at Harbor Hope. They're going to get educated and recovery there and be able to graduate. This is not a punitive place that we or anybody's going to send you. Your parent will contact the school and you will voluntarily come in for assessment, for an interview. You'll have personal, individual counseling, group counseling, peer-to-peer recovery specialist, and then there'll also be a family component because we know now that addiction is a family disease. So there's no, finished timeline, but when you're ready to go back to your school and you choose to do that, you can return back to your comprehensive school.
We are sitting in Mended Women Lifestyle Recovery in Abingdon, Virginia, Washington County. It is a women's residential treatment program that a group of community partners, nonprofits, came together to open nearly 2 years ago. There are 50 women here. We have 60 beds. We have had 199 women graduate. So 199 women in less than 2 years. That's a lot of life lived and a lot of lives restored here in this building. Many of the women have reunified with their children, regained custody. Many of them are working in good jobs, and it's just amazing to watch the lives come back together.
We've also encouraged Virginians to be prepared by organizing Revive training sessions where we teach how to administer naloxone to reverse the effects of opioids like fentanyl, saving countless lives.
Naloxone works by blocking the opioid's effect at certain receptors so that you will be clinically reversed in regards to respiratory depression, being sedate, and it actually is a wonderful drug. It wakes people up very rapidly. I've been using it my entire career. Naloxone's effect may wear off within 30 minutes. Sometimes it takes a little bit longer, depends on how people take it.
There are drugs that the Narcan doesn't touch, the new nitazines, the bath salts, the cocaine, the methamphetamine. And if you've used really strong fentanyl, no number of Narcans will bring you back.
You could pour all the wisdom on an addict inside their head, like, we're getting high today. That's what it is. Their brain is fighting against them because of the chemical imbalance. So our job is to stabilize. When they call us, we get them the appointment usually that day. We get their prescription over to the pharmacy an hour after their appointment, and we stabilize. It's 100% virtual, all right? It's medication-assisted treatment. It's designed to have a focus on the medication itself. Now, once they stabilize, that's where therapy comes in. This company became possible because of the recent adjustment to the regulations, removing the obstacles and barriers.
I'm really glad that our office partnered with the AG's office last May. They actually helped us with the launch of our IOP program. IOP stands for Intensive Outpatient Program. IOP is helpful to train you to use coping skills when you hit those stressors that often trigger addiction or use.
Today, you got to witness a recovery court graduation, and this was a really special day. You saw a defendant who has been convicted of possessing a Schedule II controlled substance, and they've earned their right to recovery. They have participated in the programs, they have received the counseling that they need, and they have completed numerous community service hours.
Recovery Court program began in 2018. We have had 110 participants. Currently, we have 51 graduates, and there have been about 12 new admissions to our program this year.
The Commonwealth's Attorney's Office is really the gatekeeper to the Recovery Court program. No violent offender should ever be considered for Recovery Court. Neither should drug dealers. We have a lot of empathy for drug users, but the drug dealers have no place being in our Recovery Court program.
The Recovery Court program provides the structure that you need. It gives you the ability to look at your life and make goals for yourself. But I think the biggest piece is you become a productive member of society.
Thanks to the collective efforts of many individuals like our Attorney General Jason Miyares and organizations like the Virginia Department of Health and the Virginia Foundation for Healthy Youth, Virginia now offers a range of programs to support recovery. But prevention must always come first, and it begins with something as simple as a conversation. It only takes one pill to take a life, but it only takes one conversation to save a life. You can be part of this most important conversation. Please join us at itonlytakesone.virginia.gov.
If you have a friend going through addiction or substance abuse, I would say you've got to tell somebody. You might lose a friendship, but losing a friendship is better than losing that person to an overdose.
A lot of times with kids, when they know their friends are doing drugs, they don't want to say anything because if I had snitched on Michaela, my mindset was she was going to stop being friends with me. We would never talk again. I could not live with that fact. At the end of the day, tell on your friends, because now instead of talking to Michaela every day, she now lives in a necklace around my neck.
Now, despite all of these hard stories, I am happy to give you some good news. The numbers of fentanyl deaths in Virginia are dropping drastically. Virginia is the #1 state in the entire country in the drop of fentanyl deaths and addiction deaths. We have a lie in our society that somehow asking for help is a sign of weakness. It's not. Asking for help is one of the most beautiful, strongest, noblest things you can ever do. And your friends and your families will be forever grateful if you just take that first step and admit you need help to get back on the road to recovery. Our goal is to make sure you have those resources to get back on your feet, to go live your best life in this remarkable Virginia we all call home.